Welcome back to the console room. In this video, we're going to be looking at Build King Chapter 5. So, we instantly come back to Cork, introduced in the last chapter. We get a little bit more background on her as a character and I guess her kind of role and her family's role in the bigger space. We get an inside look at the house beast. And then kind of finally, we get introduced to the area where Tonkachi is going to end up having to do his house renovations. So, surprisingly, a lot of kind of things are explained here, or given more information. There's a lot more world exposition, but it's already building naturally into kind of wherever this arc is going. So I love that, and it gets us just like right into everything. So I was very pleased, to be honest. Definitely like best chapter to date for sure.
Really, I kind of disagree. I think for me, this is just like a one point to another point kind of chapter for me. Like I don't mind the new character, Cork, until I see more of her. I like that she's a designer, so that's kind of interesting. She's an architect, so is like you said, because you did mention before where like you want to see other jobs. Like actually, you did mention I think one of the first few chapters where we were reviewing where like we want to see like architecture, like an architect or something like that. So it's cool to already see that early on. I personally think this chapter. I mean, yeah, we get more information, and like that's just his standard of writing, and like we see the house beast inside, so that's kind of like okay, so that's what it looks like. It's funny because like I didn't think about it, but I guess it's good to know, and it's pretty. It's a nice.
It also makes no sense though. If you look at that picture, there is no way that a house that big fits all of that. I get it,
man, because like the bottom part is the basement that like where the
in the
ground
island.
is. Yeah.
I guess, but I don't know.
Because it did look pretty large. I'm like, man, that doesn't make sense. But then I'm like, oh, it's on the ground, like it's the ground part. But
I guess.
But yeah, we get more exposition, and like again, that's just his style of writing. And again, this world is massive, so it's good to like know more. And yeah, they get their first request. They they learn more about the house beasts and stuff like that. We get a new area to see, and which is kind of interesting and also pretty hilarious.
Dude, I love it. Dude, this was great. This was such a great start. Cape Bat, first of all, super like corny, right? Bat Cave, Cape Bat, like love it. And then Upside Down Castle. Literally just the most straightforward name. And at first I literally just thought it was the cliff. And then I thought it was maybe the weird structure on top. And then no, it zooms in and it's literally like a castle was built and glued onto the bottom of this absolutely insane structure.
Yeah, I agree. But it's pretty crazy where it's just upside down, and like the butler's explaining like this thing hasn't been like fixed in a while, and nobody could fix it. Why are you still here? So and now Tonkachi and Renga are gonna go try to like fix it because why not?
That's what builders do, and they have to. Well, it also seems to be a part of their necessary requirements to join like the Builders Association or whatever the heck it's called.
And whatever the outcome is, might be good like repertoire for them. Like I guess for their quote unquote resume, so to speak, right? Or yeah, like we fixed this up, and we'll probably see. Well, we've seen Tonkachi's like building is not so hot, so there's that.
Well, that's what I'm finding a little confusing in general, to be honest. So right from the get go, I was kind of, I guess, skeptical. It's great. They explain they're from Hanmer Island. She's like, there's kind of thing if you survived out there, right? So there's this insinuation that Tonkachi is going to be on top of it. And what I also just kind of found weird about this is Tonkachi is the one who's going to fix the house, but she's ignoring him and talking to Renga and acknowledging everything that Renga says. And I'm just sitting there thinking, well, what's the point of making him do the freaking designs or the then?
Well, we know Renga's gonna be the one that kind of like fixes it, and probably.
Do you think so? Because how is he just gonna go build a concept again, or build peace? You don't think he's gonna actually do some build work for once?
Build work, yes, but not in a good way because we know he's not a guild builder. Even though like he knows like basically all his masters like technique because masters what's his name Shovel taught both of them everything. So it's up to really like the player to kind of like implement that, and we know he's just not good. I mean, will he get better throughout the series? I would hope so, sure. But and like I said before, like this chapter is just like a point A to point B moving chapter for me. Not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting her dad to be, Dracula the 13th, essentially. So that was
Well,
pretty.
that also doesn't make sense to me. So you have King Bat the 13th, as you mentioned, right? Who also, by the way, this is fantastic. He's sitting upside down
Yeah,
in the upside down castle, which I just find hilarious. And then everything's coming from the floor towards the ceiling, which is technically still the floor, right?
yeah,
It's and dude, I don't know if you noticed the chandelier though
yeah.
somehow is
Oh,
still sticking up. Like it's not like pushed against the ceiling. It's like
no.
still
Well, it's upside down because Oh, I know what you mean. Because
it should
essentially,
be like smushed the other way, right? But it's
yeah,
actually still I don't know
well, don't worry about it. It's upside down. Yeah, it's
the
kind of like.
gravity. Yeah. Okay. To be honest, all I could think of was
I know what you
Spider-Man
mean. Like
like
if it was
hanging
the
from the
other
web.
way, for sure. Like, yeah, you're right. That's interesting. Well, yeah, that's interesting. I don't know, man. It's a weird
No,
world.
no, it is. I just loved it though. I thought it was really funny because I noticed really the chandelier that doesn't like I have a really weird sense of humor and that's something I find where I'm just like
Like,
how is the chandelier doing that? That doesn't make
and it's
any
funny because like I didn't notice like that. I didn't notice that until like you brought it up. Like, oh yeah, they're supposed to like if it's really upside down, it's supposed to be the other way. So.
Exactly. So I don't know, man. And that also I guess takes me to the question of so then A is Bat a vampire because well, to be honest, he actually looks more like Zebra from
Yeah,
freaking
he does. He looks like
Toriko.
a vampire version of Zebra. Yeah, for sure. Like I agree. It's very you know, their hair and their like eyebrows or whatever forehead,
The
so to speak.
wrinkly skin too, because he's got like the yeah.
I mean,
'Cause he's a
maybe
damn character,
I
right?
wouldn't be, sure. Like this is just it's a world. Like, well, I wouldn't be surprised because we know monsters exist. Like you
So,
see like the guys back in Hammer Island. So why
yeah,
wouldn't it?
the cop as well. But then is she a vampire or like
Maybe
human
she's half.
involved here? And she yeah, like it's gonna be
Yeah.
because she was also sticking to the ceiling or like when we first met her. So I don't know. It was a
Oh
weird
yeah,
introduction.
that is true. Yeah, she was upside down, and that's pretty good. You know, she probably does that pretty often without realizing it because she
Yeah,
probably grew up there, right? So
exactly.
that's a nice little call. And also like her little face tattoos upside down, her
Upside
heart.
down, exactly.
Yeah.
So, hanging from the ceiling gets done the right way up, yada yada. So, I don't know. That was I did catch that too.
I wonder if that's a thing because you remember how we said before Tenkachi has a little face thing also with his nail? I wonder what's up with
Mm,
that. Or maybe it's just like
interesting.
I wouldn't think it's just a design choice. It has to be significant, I believe.
It could be. It very well could be. It's so early still. I'm just, to be honest, I'm just kind of happy to, I guess, finally be getting to the meat of the first arc. I think that's why I like this chapter so much because
Yeah.
we have a first destination. We
Okay.
don't. There's still so much unknown, but we've at least know we're going here. There's going
Um
to be 250 million different leaks fixed, and what's the other crazy stat that he gives? Something like 900,000 other holes, right? So it's just nice to have a goal as opposed to just still getting world exposition,
um
things like that.
oh well even just like little visual representation, looking at King Bat and the Butler. King Bat has like his heart shaped tattoo also on his chest, and also the Butler has it on his I guess his left cheek. If you look at page 16, 17.
Okay.
So I think that is like a family crest, maybe, for the characters. So maybe Tenkachi belongs to like a important family or something.
Interesting. That's a great catch, man. That's actually a great, yeah, because it's almost like a clan tattoo or something like that, right?
So that's something I like literally just rereading it with you or talking about it. I'm like, oh wow. So like he has it. So like Tenkachi, but then Renga doesn't have one, or maybe he has one on his body. We just haven't
But
seen.
but remember, they're adopted brothers. They're not.
No, that's what I mean. Like, Renga. Yeah, I'm aware of that. That's what I mean. Renga probably has like one, but it's like something else, and it's like on his back or something like that. Like, it could be around his body. It doesn't need to be on his face, because like King Bat has it on his chest, right? So,
No, that's a great point. That's a super great point. Which, well, I guess I'm a little disappointed by the name Upside Down Castle, by the way, but that's not really the point.
I mean,
I
what would
think
you call it?
to be honest, I don't know, but I don't think I would have called it that.
Yeah.
But so I guess the other kind of question is, so they're vampires, but are they like mafia vampires? Because when we get the description from Cork about how her dad was in the, I guess, house beast auction business. Which, let's be honest, that sounds like some black market deals in this world.
Yeah.
Does that mean they are a bad family? Because I know we just established that, even bandits are supposed to have peace. That this seems almost trying to frame him as a villain, but he might not actually be a villain. I don't know, to be
I
honest.
don't think he's a villain. I mean, he's pretty goofy, straight up. Like he thought his butler was joking, or maybe he just has a bad sense of humor. Could be for that, or just a
Mm,
cheap sense of humor, I should say. So kind of like everything's upside down. So he might look scary, but he's actually pretty cool.
chill. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a good point. The opposite of, don't judge a book by its cover sort of thing. Okay. Well, overall, man, I'm enjoying Build Kings. Again, getting a different spin on Toriko and having equally crazy world, equally crazy characters, I'm down. So getting more exposition, getting the first kind of like having the first meal item in sight. We've got the first building and everything in sight. So I'm just looking forward to seeing where this is going.
for sure. For me, same here. I'm looking to like see where it's go. There's like a little town on top, so like I need to go there. Or what I'm actually really excited for is like for the battles and for like how crazy
Are
they're
they
gonna.
going to be battles though? Like,
I would think so because yes, I would think so. So I want to see how one versus one would be. Not just like Tenkachi just kind of like hammering. Not want to say hammering things away, but like I want to see like a proper like fight. So that's actually what I'm excited for. Like, and I don't mind the world building because you need it in this world, so to speak. So, but that's what I'm excited for. So.
no, that's a good point, and I can't disagree. But I'm wondering if maybe in the future there'll also be some sort of, I guess, building competition instead of a fight, you
For sure.
know,
Be a
with like a
tournament.
scorecard or something like that.
To
But
join the association, you need to, do the tournament. So
and win exactly. So we'll see though. But that's kind of everything I want to say. Do you any last thoughts, or should we move on?
let's move on to the next one.
Okay.